Hi, this is Paul Sackis, Good News Broadcast, speaking to Michael Poster. Hi, Michael. How are you?
Good, Paul. How are you?
Okay, good. Something came across our Good News here, and it says, how to take it with you. The 5th Annual Entertainment Business Law Seminar at CMJ Music Marathon and Film Festival announces a partnership with HSBC Private Bank, okay? So that all sounded like good information, and I said I'd shown some interest in this, and we're in the entertainment business for many, many years. And we love to know that good things are happening. And law is one of the basis of success, wouldn't you say, for them to happen?
Well, certainly an important part, certainly an important piece of the puzzle.
There you go.
Especially in the entertainment business.
Right, which actually I believe is the leading business export of America. And
I think intellectual property is, yeah.
There it is. Okay. And so you're a spokesperson for this upcoming event, and I see you're a chairman of the CLE program, which I'm not sure what that exactly is. But, well maybe you can tell us. Well, what's your background, Michael?
I'm an attorney. I'm a partner at Vandenberg and Fellew, LLP, in New York. The CLE stands for Continuing Legal Education. In most states, attorneys are legally required to maintain their knowledge about the law and keep up to date on things, and that's enforced through mandatory CLE requirements. Lawyers have a certain number of these hours of continuing legal ed that they need to get every couple of years, and they need to certify that as part of their bar admission. Law is certainly not alone in that area. Accountants have to do the same thing, and I think certain other professions as well. So what this program is a day-long event designed to help lawyers get those credits that they need in order to maintain their bar status, and we do it through providing multiple programs and multiple panel discussions which relate to the entertainment industry.
Okay, very good. And so what will be happening, and is it really only open for lawyers, or can the general population attend as well?
Well, anybody who registers for CMJ, I believe, can attend. I'm not positive about that, though.
Okay.
But there's a special separate registration for lawyers who don't necessarily want to register for the entire CMJ event, and that's because for cost issues, because the costs are handled differently.
Okay.
So the idea is, I think anybody can register for it if you feel like sitting through a day's worth of legal education. I don't know a lot of lawyers who necessarily want to sit through a day's worth of legal education, to say nothing of people in the general population who might be interested in doing so, but I suppose, to each his own.
Well, you know what? I might be one of those weirdos because actually I was a business manager at Channel 13, and okay. I'm very serious about this show business, and I always tell people that, it's great to make shows, but it's not La La Land. It's business. It's a serious business, and I have an immense respect for the lawyers. When we dealt with. Things just would not move forwards in the professional way, in the
right.
CBS professionals, PBS professional, record company, movie company. It just doesn't move forwards, and people don't actually take you seriously. And I know when we're in a fundraising mode, and everybody always says, so who are their lawyer? Who is their accountant? So in essence, to me, a lawyer, the accountants are like your guard and your tackle. That the quarterback will never even get a ball off if those aren't the strength of the foundation of a good business.
Well, moreover, in the entertainment industry, there are so many people who, come at the industry or try to make a run at things or try to develop projects without really having thought through the issues and without having really looked at all the legal ramifications. So to a certain extent, not only are your lawyer and accountant your guard, they're also a sign that perhaps you're to be taken seriously, because clearly you've explored and thought through some of the legal and financial issues associated with what you want to do, and you have, clearly either enough money to retain these types of professionals, or these people believe in your project enough that perhaps they're willing to take their fees based on future performance. But regardless, at least it shows that you have people who take you seriously enough as an entrepreneur or as an entertainer or whatever you're looking to do, that that it's worth having a conversation with you.
There you go. Well, here's just for our audience. I got a lot of people, and I think now more so. My grandson, when he was born, he had a digital camera. He was making shows, and so and he's showing me at maybe at 3.5 how to use the computer. So I think this industry, which had always been, as I was alluding to the fact of how powerful it is. Here as an export and an import here, is really going to go wild because everybody's now potentially a producer. And to a certain degree, you can have a channel on YouTube, you can get 10 million hits, and you can start a whole career. Or you can start a business on, out of your house. And but to run it though properly, you still need business behind you. Your thoughts?
That's right. I mean, the technology has made the entertainment industry more democratic, for lack of a better term.
That's a good term.
In that it's, it used to be that unless you were at a major studio or a big label, or even if you weren't at a major, you had to have a certain level of financing. Otherwise, you were just another kid with a Super 8 camera, mm-hmm. or another guy with a 4-track recorder. Mm-hmm. And again, there's a limit to how much anybody was going to take you seriously, in part because they thought the potential upsides were going to be very, very limited, and clearly you hadn't gotten to a level of professional achievement enough that you were turning in something that could possibly be a finished product. That's clearly changed now, and it's been changing over the last several years. What I'm saying is certainly not a revelation to anybody who's in the entertainment business or watches the media industry in any respect, and it applies across all levels of media. It applies to, what bloggers have done to the print media business and to the news business in general. That you can see in terms of, you can get professional level photography with the digital camera that you could get, at any local photo store. You can record using music programs like Pro Tools. A lot of people can do professional level music recording on a Mac. The same thing applies to video and to other forms of media. You now have technology making it a much more technology has made it such that anybody can be a player these days if you've got good enough ideas and you've got the stick-to-itiveness to really follow through on them. Certainly, distribution is not the challenge that it was anymore. The challenge that a lot of people face these days is that they're almost getting deluged with so much media that they need somebody to help them filter it.
I agree.
When something like when MySpace really started becoming very popular, and other websites like that, and even when the internet started becoming a much more popular medium and moved from the type of things that was sort of limited to sort of your hardcore tech people and hardcore computer users into a much more widely adopted, means of communication, everybody thought that every record label and movie studio and major media company was going to go out of business, because why did you need them anymore? You simply had all of these, anybody could become, any artist could get their music out on the radio, or not on the radio, but any artist could get their music to you any way you wanted, and anybody could write anything they wanted and get it to you. And that's what the internet would do. It would facilitate distribution because you had almost infinite distribution capacity. Mm-hmm. I think what we've seen over the last 10, 12 years is that to a certain extent that's true, but to a large extent it's not, because I think people still rely on major media companies, whether we like it or not, to help filter some of that, because there may be 1 million bands who have their music on the internet right now, but who has the time to sort through 1 million bands? Even with recommendation engines and other types of, social media that allow people to recommend things to each other, the discovery process continues for a lot of people, and a lot of people really enjoy it. But, that's why I think websites like Pandora and other types of companies like that have been so successful, because they help people sort through this huge amount of information out there.
Well, I'm just going to read a couple of the words from some of the sessions that will occur at this CMJ Music Marathon and Film Festival here. So, U.S. entertainment content providers can succeed in foreign markets, okay? So there's a big thought now. Exploring the latest developments in publicity rights, okay? Rights. There literally are rights. If you, in YouTube, if you don't have the rights, they are starting to crack down on people that don't have the rights. That concert where someone took a camera and they put it up in the air and recorded Paul McCartney. More than likely, that wasn't really a professional thing, and
or legal.
Our legal thing. Copyright. How about that one? There's an interesting word. Copyright terminations. I mean, someone's intellectual property, right? You mentioned intellectual property to begin with, right? You just can't take someone's logo and use it, right?
That is generally the case.
So on and so forth. So the challenging of mobile TV, okay? So everywhere you go, you can be watching some of these things. The digital vision, film distribution. So there's some very interesting subjects going to be happening here. And I think, a good professional learns something about this, or at least an owner of a company. I'm only saying that I think, after my 38 years, the more you know about the business of the business, then, and from hearing it from lawyers like yourself, you're going to be better off in what you're doing.
I think that's right. I think if anybody who's in the media industry, and I don't just mean the entertainment business, but the larger media industry in general, it behooves them to keep up to speed on things that are happening in technology, especially as it affects the media business, because those are the things that become the distribution models and the revenue models of the future. And for lawyers, the challenge that we always face is trying to make, it's trying to take the creative output of our clients, and whether that's creative output in terms of their strategies or in terms of the creative output in terms of the actual works they create, and trying to make, fit those into an existing legal framework and make it such that we can help our clients distribute and monetize the things that they've created and enable them to use these new business models and get their product out there and adapt to this new technology, because if you don't adapt, you're going to die.
There you go. I also like to give a kudo here to HSBC Private Bank for becoming a partner in this, and I know they're very involved in the entertainment industry. Personally, I know that because they're a bank that we work with, and they're out there helping people move their businesses forward. So that's a good thing. And so there's a lot of good stuff here, and there's a website. We'll put up all the text here to make it easier for people to come to that. Last question then for you, Michael. Thank you very much, first of all, for taking the time to speak with us. And two, what's good news for you?
Excuse me?
What's good news for you, personal or professional? Anything you would like to share?
Well, I'm just really excited about this program. I'm very, very excited about HSBC's involvement. This is the first year they're involved with the CMJ program. We really hope it's the start of many years of partnership to come with them. And we're really looking forward to the event. We're expecting a very large turnout. So I would certainly encourage any attorneys, law students, or anybody else, frankly, who has an interest in these subjects to come and attend. I think you'll get a lot out of it.
Okay, thank you, Michael. And the date is October 22nd. It's here in New York University's Helen and Martin Kimmel Center, right?
Yes.
Perfecto. Okay, thank you very much,
Michael.
Michael.
Very good. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.